Why do many people feel more lonely after 60, even when they finally have more free time than ever? Retirement is expected to feel relaxing. No work pressure, no deadlines, and more freedom to enjoy life. At first, the quiet feels peaceful. But over time, that same silence can start to feel heavy. The real problem is not just leaving work, but losing daily interaction, shared purpose, and natural social contact. Humans are built for connection, and without regular engagement, emotional distance can slowly develop even when family and friends are nearby. In this video, we'll explore 8 practical and realistic ways to reduce loneliness after 60 and rebuild meaningful, stable connections that make life feel more connected again. 1. Rebuilding connection. One of the most effective ways to reduce loneliness after 60 is not simply socializing more, but feeling useful again in a structured way. Many people struggle emotionally after retirement because they lose the sense of being needed. Micro-volunteering helps fill that gap without overwhelming commitments. Instead of long shifts or rigid schedules, micro-volunteering allows you to contribute in small, flexible ways. This can include mentoring younger people online, helping community projects remotely, or supporting short-term tasks for organizations that need guidance. The key advantage is control over time, while still being part of something larger. What makes this powerful is that it reconnects you with purpose and interaction at the same time. You are no longer just observing life from the outside. You are actively participating in it, even in small ways. That sense of contribution naturally reduces emotional isolation because it replaces emptiness with meaning and engagement. Over time, even these small contributions create relationships and familiarity, which are often the first step toward deeper human connection. 2. Creating social bonds through skill exchange. Many older adults attend social gatherings, but still feel disconnected because the interaction lacks depth. Small talk alone rarely builds emotional closeness. A more effective approach is structured interaction through skill exchange. This means turning social connection into shared activity rather than just conversation. You teach something you already know while learning something new from someone else. This creates mutual value and naturally strengthens bonds because both sides are actively involved in the interaction. Unlike casual meetups, skill-based interaction removes awkwardness and gives both people a clear purpose. It could be something practical like cooking, gardening, budgeting, or even digital skills. What matters is not the skill itself, but the shared learning experience. When people learn together, they automatically communicate more, cooperate more, and build trust faster. This type of interaction feels more meaningful than surface-level socializing because it is rooted in contribution rather than obligation. 3. Joining interest-based communities. A major cause of loneliness after 60 is staying within age-restricted environments where conversations and activities feel repetitive or limited. While senior focus groups can be helpful, they sometimes lack variety and energy. A more effective approach is joining interest-based communities that naturally include people of all ages. These communities form around shared passions rather than demographics, which makes connection feel more natural and less forced. This could include hobby groups, creative spaces, book clubs, gaming communities, or nature-focused activities. The key advantage is that shared interest becomes the foundation of connection rather than age or background. When people gather around something they genuinely enjoy, conversations become more authentic. There is less pressure to fit in socially because the activity itself creates common ground. Over time, repeated participation in such communities naturally builds familiarity, trust, and friendship. This approach works especially well for reducing loneliness because it replaces passive social environments with active, engaging ones. 4. Engaging in bigger causes. Loneliness often increases when daily life feels disconnected from something bigger. One powerful way to counter this is by becoming involved in citizen-level participation projects that contribute to broader goals. These activities allow individuals to engage with real-world data, environmental tracking, historical preservation, or scientific observation without needing formal qualifications. The important element is not expertise, but participation. This type of involvement creates a strong sense of belonging because you are contributing to something collective, even though the work may be done individually. The outcome connects you to a global network of participants. What makes this effective for loneliness is that it shifts focus away from isolation and toward contribution. Instead of thinking about what is missing socially, attention moves toward what is being built collectively. This creates psychological engagement and reduces feelings of separation from the world. Over time, people often develop informal connections with others involved in the same activities, further strengthening their sense of belonging. 5. Familiarity in local spaces. One of the simplest but most underrated ways to reduce loneliness is consistent presence in the same physical spaces. Human connection often begins not through planned interaction, but through repeated visibility. When you regularly visit the same cafe, park, library, or community spot, you naturally begin to recognize and be recognized by others. This familiarity slowly builds a sense of belonging without forcing social interaction. At first, the interactions may be minimal, such as greetings or brief conversations. However, over time, repetition creates comfort. People begin to associate your presence with stability, and small interactions gradually become more meaningful. This approach works because it removes pressure. There's no need to actively make friends. Instead, connection develops organically through routine and visibility. The human brain is wired to trust familiarity, and that trust is the foundation of social comfort. 6. Simple digital connections. Modern life offers more ways to connect than ever before, but many older adults avoid digital tools due to discomfort or unfamiliarity. This avoidance can unintentionally increase loneliness by limiting access to family, friends, and community updates. Learning to use digital communication in a simple, stress-free way can significantly reduce emotional distance. This does not require advanced technical skills. Basic messaging, video calls, and group communication tools are often enough to stay meaningfully connected. The important shift is viewing digital tools not as complicated systems, but as extensions of real-world relationships. A short message, voice call, or video chat can maintain emotional closeness even when physical meetings are less frequent. What matters most is consistency rather than complexity. Regular contact, even in small forms, helps maintain emotional continuity in relationships. Without it, relationships often fade slowly due to lack of interaction rather than conflict or distance. 7. Gradual social re-exposure. One hidden factor in loneliness is emotional sensitivity to rejection or social discomfort. Over time, some individuals become more cautious about social situations due to past experiences of loss, exclusion, or emotional pain. This can lead to withdrawal, even when opportunities for connection exist. To address this, it is important to gradually reintroduce social exposure in manageable and non-overwhelming ways. Instead of forcing large social environments, smaller and safer interactions work better. These allow the nervous system to adjust without triggering stress or avoidance patterns. Over time, repeated positive experiences help rebuild confidence in social settings. The goal is not to eliminate discomfort completely, but to reduce its intensity so that it no longer controls behavior. When emotional regulation improves, social participation becomes easier and more natural. This process is gradual, but it plays a crucial role in breaking long-term patterns of isolation. 8. Rethinking loneliness as signal. The final and most important shift is psychological. Loneliness is often treated as something negative that must be avoided at all costs. However, it can also be understood as a signal that something in the social system needs attention. Instead of viewing loneliness as a permanent condition, it is more useful to see it as feedback. It highlights the need for connection, purpose, or engagement. When interpreted correctly, it becomes a guide rather than a burden. This perspective changes how action is taken. Instead of reacting with frustration or withdrawal, it encourages small, consistent steps toward rebuilding connection. These steps may not produce instant results, but they gradually reshape daily experience. When loneliness is reframed this way, it loses some of its emotional weight. It becomes manageable rather than overwhelming, and that shift alone can make it easier to re-engage with life. There you have it. 8 ways to reduce loneliness and feel more connected after 60. Whether it's through micro-volunteering, skill-based social interaction, interest communities, digital communication, or simply building familiarity in everyday spaces. Each of these approaches helps rebuild meaningful connection without overwhelming pressure. The key is to move gradually, stay consistent, and focus on engagement rather than isolation. If you found these ideas valuable, make sure to like this video, share it with anyone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical strategies to improve well-being, connection, and quality of life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.